All right. Welcome everyone to today's class. The theme is these are a few of my favorite things. So if you are watching my story today, you may have seen the excessive amount of time that I spent demoing all of these exercises. So you probably have a good sense at this point of what we're doing. But of course, we're going to warm up first. A couple things just always to remember. You can always play music on your end. I don't play it on my end because I don't like wearing AirPods while I teach, but feel free to do that on your end. Always take any modifications you need. Stacked classes, what we're doing today, there's fast transition. So feel free to skip an exercise if you need 30-second break or whatever you need to modify. Always feel free to take that. And yeah, you can always put things in the chat if you have questions or comments or anything. So we're going to start with our warm up. I know Isabel's going to pop in a second, so I may need to hop up and let her in. But we're going to start on our backs in our glute bridge. So we want to fire up the glutes before we begin so that they can help us for the rest of the class. I'm going to pin my video really fast. Okay. So we're planting those feet about hip distance apart, really tucking the tailbone here so that the lower back is staying on the ground. And then we're going to squeeze the glutes. So before you even lift them up, you can really start to squeeze them here, and you'll feel some engagement, and hopefully this will help keep it out of the low back. And we're actually going to lift without lifting up today. We're going to lift that right leg so our knee is right over our hip. And we're going to cup our right hand on that knee. And you can kind of press back with that knee before we even lift up, and you'll feel the hamstring and the glutes start to fire up. And then pressing into that left foot will lift up into a one-legged glute bridge here. I didn't steal this from anyone. So that hand is right on your knee. Glute is engaged here. And if this feels good, you can stay here. You can always put this right foot down. If you want to add a couple pulses here and really get the glute fired up, feel free to do that, whatever feels best here. All right, we're going to take that right hand and press it against the right leg. So this is a little bit of a different feeling than the hand on your knee. You'll feel maybe a little tension in a different way here. Oh, it's burning already. Good. And then we're going to bring this right foot down, and then we're just going to do a couple pulses. So you'll feel that left glute is already warmed up, and the right one's like, what's going on? So a couple lifts and lowers here, keeping that pelvis neutral. And then we'll lower it down and take that left knee over hip. That left hand cups the knee, and then we'll press into that right foot and squeeze the right glute, and then lift up here into that glute bridge. So again, that core is engaged here as well, trying to almost like knit the ribs together. And if you want to add in some pulses, you can. You can always drop this left leg, your choice. Good, some engagement in that glutes. And then we're going to take that left hand and press it against that left leg. Final little engagement here. And then bringing that left foot down, and we'll come to a couple just lifts and lowers here. Final glute engagement before we hop into our core. So those glutes are going to help us with the fast transitions today. Super functional muscle. They help you with like literally every movement, and they protect your low back. So really important to get them active before we begin. All right, we're lowering down here. You can keep the feet on the ground today. Hands behind your head, elbows point up towards the ceiling. Again, same feeling of that low back pressing down into the mat. Take a deep inhale. On that exhale, we're going to lift up off the shoulder blades. The elbows are pointing up towards the sky. Head is pressing back into the hands. Low back is pressed into the ground. Good. Inhale and lower. Good. And then on that exhale, we're lifting up off those shoulder blades as much as you can, pressing down with the core. Good. And lower. Good. Take a big inhale. Exhale and lift up. we'll add on this time. We're gonna lift that right arm back behind us. So keeping that left hand on the back of your head, that right arm is extended. Good, back behind your head and down. Inhale, exhale, and lift up. We're gonna extend that left arm out behind us. Ooh. Pressing the head back into your hand behind the head and down. Inhale, exhale, and lift up here. We're extending that right arm back. Oh, not letting the low back arch here. Hand behind your head and lower. Inhale, exhale, and lift, extending that left arm behind you. Good. All right. We're adding on here. Inhale, exhale, and lift up. You can stick with one arm, or if you want to, you can try to extend both arms back behind you. We're still keeping the neck in the same position. Good. Hands behind your head and lower. If you're just doing one arm, we're doing it again. So you can switch to the other arm this time. Inhale, exhale, and lift. If you want to extend both arms, you can, or just one. Choice is yours. Good, hands behind your head and down. Last time. So you can choose to do one hand and then you can switch it in the middle, or you can do both hands. Inhale, exhale, and lift up. So you can do both arms, or you could do one and then switch halfway. We're holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax down. We can come up to a seat here. We are gonna do we're gonna do a couple cat-cow. So come into quadruped. So hands are right under your shoulders, and we're really relaxing the shoulder blades down our back. So we're not arching our back here, but relaxing them down. Knees are under your hips, and we're just gonna do a couple cat-cows, but we're never arching the back. We're always trying to keep the pelvis neutral. So pressing into the hands, releasing that neck. You can shake out your neck for a second if that feels good. And then pulling the hands almost back on your mat, rolling the shoulder blades back and down. But you notice that my back's not here. I'm still keeping that back neutral, and you're almost pulling your chest through your armpits. And we'll do one more of each, pressing into the hands, releasing the fascia in your upper back. And then pulling the hands back, the chest through your hands. Good. All right, let's hop right into our stacked class. So we have 10 exercises, and we'll be doing, we'll do the first exercise for 30 seconds off, second exercise, and then the first exercise, 30 seconds off, and so up all the way up to 10. So as we get up, you'll have fewer breaks, but again, build those in however you need. It's gonna be a good one. So our first exercise is an earthquake. So you can have your knees bent, or you can have them straight out. Depends on how your hamstrings feel there. I'm gonna keep my knees bent. And then we will be keeping the chest lifted and arms out. You can also cross the arms if that feels better for you. And that chin and the folds right on top of your spine, so we're not, for anterior.
I can't really hear you very well. Is that just me?
Can other people hear me?
Your audio got quieter.
Really? Oh, weird. I can get closer. Is it better if I get closer? No? I don't know what to say. Like, in what way is it bad?
I can just barely.
All right. Cool. Great. Welcome, Isabel. All right. So we are in that earthquake position. So you can have your knees bent, or you can have them straight out. You can have those arms out, and we're keeping the skull over our spine. So we're just doing this for 30 seconds, and we'll get that 30 seconds of recovery. So starting in 3, 2, 1. So you can find that tipping point. So maybe that will be back here for some people. That's not where it is for me. And you can find wherever you start to feel that core engagement. And we're not trying to just work the superficial muscles. We really want to get into the deep core that help us move and stand and walk. So really trying to keep the deep core engaged. Good. 3, 2, 1. So 30 seconds off here. I'll demo the next exercise. Oh, I guess I'll be on my back for this one, is our butterfly glute bridge. So you want the tips of the feet to be together. So it doesn't have to be the whole feet, but just the tips of the feet. And then the femurs are still in the hip socket, so you don't want them to be all the way out here. And we're squeezing the glutes up and down, trying to keep a neutral pelvis, lifting and lowering. We'll start that in 3, 2, 1. So coming to our butterfly glute bridge here. So squeezing the glutes. And we're just like, we're not trying to drop those legs out wide. You can always just come to a normal glute bridge if that feels better as well. That pelvis is staying neutral here. I realize I can't see the timer, so keep going. Nice. 3, 2, 1. We're coming right up into that earthquake. So 30 seconds here, finding that earthquake position. So again, maybe you want to drop back a little bit if the first time felt too easy. Maybe you want to be further up if it felt too hard. Finding whatever works best for you here. Wherever you are, trying not to fall forward, still trying to have a lifted and open chest. Good. 3, 2, 1. 30 seconds off. Our third exercise is our side lunges. So I like to come to the middle and then from here, step out to the side and then alternate to the other side. Notice that my knee's not coming forward. So you're really pushing your hips back and lighting up those adductors. So we're going from that right into our butterfly glute bridge and then into our earthquake. So you can stand up into that side lunge position in 3, 2, 1. So hinging the hips back, switching sides. Hinging the hips back, so we're switching sides every time. Good. Core is engaged here. That neck is in line with the rest of your spine. Good. 3, 2, 1. We're coming right onto our back into our butterfly glute bridge. So remember, the tips of the feet are together and we're lifting and lowering here. Good. So this is a great way because you're getting leverage on those glutes in a little bit of a different way than you would on your normal glute bridge with both feet on the ground. I also feel a little bit more adductor work here too. All right, coming to that earthquake in 3, 2, 1, coming right up into that earthquake position, relaxing those shoulders back and down, the shoulder blades. Maybe you want to try to tip a little bit further this time. Maybe you're feeling a little further up, your choice. Nice, maybe you want to drop down for the last 10 seconds. Good, 3, 2, 1, 30 seconds off. Our next exercise is a plank. So your choice of a forearm plank, a hand plank, a knee plank, up to you. Wherever you are, we're not doming the back. We're relaxing those scapula down your back, trying to have as an engaged movement as possible. And then we'll go into the side lunges, glute bridge, and our earthquake. So you can start to find that plank position, whatever kind of plank you want to do here. In 3, 2, 1. So finding that plank position, you can keep knees on the ground, you can lift them, but really trying to, I guess, retract the shoulder blades rather than protract them up. Getting again into those deep core muscles here. Good. In 5-ish seconds, we'll stand up for those side lunges. In 3, 2, 1. Standing up here. I'm going to do it at the back so you can see me. So again, hinging those hips. And my range of motion is not too much because my hip mobility isn't very much. So Again, this is going to look different for everyone as long as the pelvis is being pushed back and the knees staying over the toe. You're doing it right. Good. Getting ready to come into that glute bridge in 3, 2, 1. So a little bit of the toe coming together and we're lifting and lowering. This is a good time to check in on those ribs, making sure the ribs aren't flaring, making sure the low back isn't taking the weight of your glutes here. Good, getting ready for that earthquake in 3, 2, 1. Good, 30 seconds, finding that earthquake. Again, checking to make sure your neck's not forward, it's stacked back. Ooh, I felt immediately more core engagement when I stacked my skull on my scapula. So making sure you're finding that length here too. Good, 3, 2, 1, 30 seconds off. Our next exercise is a dolphin with leg raises. So for a dolphin, you can have those forearms on the ground. You can also have hands together. We're touching the toes and we're gonna alternate lifting and lowering the legs. You can also just keep feet on the ground for your dolphin, whatever feels best here. Again, keeping that pelvis neutral so you're not tilting every time you lift and lower. And you don't have to lift your legs as high as I did. It can just be a couple inches up and down. All right, 3, 2, 1, finding that dolphin, just extending and lowering. Finding that core engagement here, puffing up into the upper back. Good, 10 seconds. And we'll go right into that plank. Good, 3, 2, you can really just hinge forward here right into that plank if you want, or you can come up on your hands. You can also drop those knees, choice is yours. I'm starting to get a little heated here. Good, 10 seconds. Good, 3, 2, 1. We are standing up for our side lunges. You can always add, if you want a little bit more of the dynamic, you can add a jumping jack in the middle if you want to turn up the heat a little bit, your choice. And again, this doesn't have to be a fast movement. You can slow it down, really try to get the adductor to light up. All right, 3, 2, 1. We're coming into that butterfly glute bridge. So we're back on our backs, finding that controlled position here. Maybe you want to try to really screw up those glutes here. So squeeze the feet together. See if you can add on just a little bit. Getting ready for that earthquake in 3, 2, 1. So rolling up, coming right into that earthquake. I'm going to drop back a little bit. So 20 seconds. So whatever you want that earthquake to look like for 20 seconds. Pinching the shoulder blades together a little bit. You don't want to be falling forward. Good, 3, 2, 1, 30 seconds off. Is the volume okay? Can you hear me all right? Okay, cool. All right, next up we have our sashays. So you can sashay side to side here, or it can just be kind of a step. It depends what kind of you want this to look like, but we're kind of side shuffling. You don't have to touch the ground. That's just what I like to do, your choice. All right, we're starting in 3, 2, 1. So shuffling side to side here. It's a very small jump, if any. So it can be more of like a shuffle. Again, keeping that spine neutral. This is really getting all of those different stabilizer muscles to fire up when you move laterally. All right, getting ready for that dolphin to leg raise in 3, 2, 1, coming right into that dolphin. And alternating, lifting and lowering the legs. You can bend the knees as much as you need here. Good, 10 seconds. Good, 3, 2, 1, coming right into that plank position. You can hinge forward into that plank, or you can come up on your hands. Good, making sure you're breathing here. After this plank, we'll stand up for those side lunges. And 3, 2, 1, standing up. Wherever you feel best doing those side lunges. I like to keep my hands on my pelvis just to make sure my pelvis isn't moving around too much, but you can put your hands whatever feels best for you here. Good, 10 seconds. Really hinging at the hips. Good, 3, 2, 1, coming to our glute bridge, coming onto our back, tips of the feet touching. You can also just hold it at the top. Yeah, if you really press the feet together, you'll feel extra engagement here. So finding whatever works best for you in this position. Yeah, it feels very fired up. All right, 3, 2, 1, coming into that earthquake. 30 seconds here. Finding control here and check in on that chin. Remember, you're pressing it back and over your spine. You're not falling forward. And you can almost imagine here, you're lifting the ribs up and out instead of falling forward. Good, 3, 2, 1, 30 seconds off. Next up, we have our push-up into our goalpost lift. So you'll come down into that push-up and then bring those arms to goalpost. You'll lift up a couple inches, really engaging the glutes and the core, press into the hands and pressing back up into that earth, into your push-up. You can also do this on your toes. Good luck doing that on your toes, but I believe in all of you. All right, 3, 2, 1. So coming into that push-up position, we're bringing arms to goalpost, lifting just a couple inches up, pressing into the hands, back into that push-up. So down for that push-up. Again, really engage the whole time. The shoulder blades are rolled down your back a bit. Core is engaged here. Good, 3, 2, 1. Coming to those sashays, we're standing up. Sashaying, Ryan claims that it's not called a sashay, but I don't really care what it's called. I'm gonna keep calling it sashays until the day I die. Sashays is objectively a fun word, so there's no way around it. Good, 3, 2, coming into that dolphin to leg raise. So coming into that dolphin position, alternating, lifting and lowering. You can also just keep those feet on the ground too. If you want to just work on your dolphin, there's so many options. Feel free to take as many breaks as you need. Getting ready for that plank in 3, 2, 1. Coming into that plank position wherever you are. Almost trying to like rip the mat apart with your forearms here. I'm breathing heavy. All right, getting ready for those side lunges in 3, 2, 1. Standing up. Again, I'm going to slow down this time and really get my hips to hit me back. So again, take whatever works best for you here. You can always speed it up. And then we'll go into those butterfly glute bridge in 3, 2, 1, coming down to wherever you're on the ground. We're on our backs, pressing the tips of the feet together and really firing up those glutes. You can always just find a normal glute bridge too. There's no right or wrong way. All right, earthquake in 3, 2, 1, sitting on up here. Ooh, yeah, Ryan went straight from his glute bridge to his earthquake. Bold move. See how it plays out for him. We're not sure yet. All right, we are halfway. If you want to try dropping down a 1/2 inch, checking in on your triple S, your skull, your sacrum, and your skull, sacrum, and scapula. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Good. 3, 2, 1. 30 seconds off. All right, next up, we got Curtsey Lunges. So again, same thing, neutral pelvis. I'm a broken record. Stepping that foot behind far enough that you can keep the pelvis neutral, switching to the other side. If you feel like this is wonky on your knee, just go to normal lunges instead. Totally fine either way. All right, let's do it. We're starting in 3, 2, 1. Are we going to do this in unison? Oh man. Core is engaged as well. A same kind of feeling of lifting those ribs out of your hips here. This is obscene. Oh man. Good, 10 seconds. Again, take this as slow as you want. Oh my gosh, stop. 3, 2, 1. All right, we are going into our push-up, into our goalpost lift. So push-up position, goalpost the arms, lifting up a couple inches, back down, and pushing back up onto your knees or onto your toes. Good. 3, 2, 1. We're up into our sashays, side shuffle squats, whatever you want to call them here. Side shuffle, side lunge, side shuffle, side lunge. Not that bad. Really still hinging the hips back here. You got this, Ryan. You're killing it. All right, 3, 2, 1. Coming into our dolphin, into our leg raises. Lifting the hips up. Alternating legs if that feels okay. Really pressing into those forearms. Getting ready for that plank in 3, 2, 1. Coming forward into that plank, or you can take a second, up to you. Again, finding that really controlled position here. You can always drop down onto the knees. Again, not letting that neck drop here. The head is still in line with the rest of your spine. All right, side lunges in 3, 2, 1. Standing on up. We're back into our side lunges. Hope I'm not breathing too loud into my AirPods. Wow, our heads got really close there. Good, 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1, we're coming to that glute bridge. So butterfly or otherwise, tips of the feet squeezing up here. Maybe you want to see if you can dial up the feet a little bit more by really pushing the feet together. 10 seconds. Good, 3, 2, 1, coming up into that earthquake. I think this is our third to last time doing this. So really seeing if you want to drop back just a tiny bit more, your choice. What's happening with your feet, honey? Good, 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1. All right, 2 more rounds to go. So this next one, we have a plank into hovering table. So you're in that plank position, keeping the knees hovering above the ground. You're dropping them and hinging back so that the knees are about in 90-90, hinging forward. Notice that I'm not here, so really trying to relax the shoulder blades down your back as well. All right, let's do it. We're starting in 3, 2, 1. So finding that plank position, hovering the knees a couple inches up off the ground and then coming back forward. So this should be, yeah, Ryan loves this exercise, a good quad exercise, a good core exercise. You can always drop down the knees for a second and come back to it. Good, 10 seconds. Getting ready for the Curtsey Lunges in 3, 2, 1, standing up here. I know, bold move, right? Nice and controlled with these Curtsey Lunges. You can stay low the whole time if you want, your choice. Ooh, good, 10 seconds here again. Not letting the lower back take this, core is engaged. You can even put one hand on your pelvis to make sure. 3, 2, 1. All right, we are going into our push-up, into our goalpost lift, finding that push-up position. Coming down, goalpost arms lifting, and then pressing back up. Good, again, trying to keep a neutral spine this whole time. It's easy to let that neck drop on your push-ups. All right, getting ready for our Sashays in 3, 2, 1. Back in here, second to our last time doing my favorite one, Sashays. You don't have to touch the ground. Obviously, it can just be a nice little leapy leap leap. Have some fun with it. You can dance around a little bit. Good, 3, 2, 1. We're coming into Dolphin, into our leg raise, coming into that Dolphin position, relaxing the neck and the head down, pressing into the forearms. Good. Getting ready for that plank in 3, 2, 1. Into that plank position. Again, second to our last time here. I'm very sweaty right now. Good, halfway, 15 seconds. Pulling the floor away with the hands, really lighting up the upper back muscles here. People always think of planks as just core exercises, but really you're working so many things to help you stay up. 3, 2, 1, side lunges, standing on up, hinging the hips back, alternating sides. And same kind of thing with the curtsey lunges. If you want to put one hand on your lower back and one on your core, and just make sure that they're staying like kind of like a little box here to help your whole pelvis stay neutral. Good. 3, 2, 1. We're coming into our glute bridge, laying down on your back, edge of the feet together. Good. Lifting and lowering here. Making sure you're not forgetting your core engagement as well. And then we got off second to our last final earthquake in 3, 2, 1. Coming up into that earthquake. 30 seconds here. Again, you can have those legs more straight. You can have them more bent. Regardless, really trying to lift up and out. You can also, you can always balance the hands back if that feels better too. 10 seconds left if you want to drop a little ½ inch further. Good. 3, 2, 1. All right, we have our final round. So our last exercise is a sumo squat. So you can have those toes turned out. You can also have them more in a normal squat position. If you want them turned out, we're basically dropping down and back up, really engaging the adductors and then the glutes here. If you want it to be more of a traditional squat, you can bring those feet together, hinging the hips back and forward. Let's do it. Last round, everyone. Final push. 3, 2, 1. So if you're doing that sumo squat, again, really keeping stacked. You can even put one hand on the back of your skull, not letting that pelvis tilt too much. Sometimes, if I'm really honest with myself, this is more like my range of motion. Good. 10 seconds here. We'll get ready for that plank into our hovering table in 3, 2, 1. Finding that plank position, keeping those knees hovering above the ground, and then back into that plank. You can also drop the knees down in a second if you want, and then come back into it, whatever feels best. When you're at the top though, you're pulling those shoulder blades apart, so you're not just protracting when you get to the top. All right, getting ready for those curtsey lunges in 3, 2, 1. We're standing up here. I'm gonna add in an abductor lift on this one because I'm feeling like having some fun. Your choice. Last time doing this. Good. 3, 2, 1. We're coming into our push-up, into our goalpost lift, into that push-up position. Chest lifted, shoulder blades squeezed, and we're lowering, coming into the goalpost arms, lifting a couple inches, planting, pressing back up. This is very hard to do with AirPods, and my braids just want to knock it out. All right, coming into our sashays in 3, 2, 1. So maybe you want to make this a little bit more dancey this time. Dancing to the side. Your choice. No one is watching. All right, I'll do some sashays. Good, 10 seconds left. I feel like I'm doing an Olympic sport here. Good, 3, 2, 1. Coming into that dolphin to leg raise. Coming to that dolphin position. You can always just stay here for this final round if you want, or you can add in that lift and lower of the legs. Getting ready for that final plank here. 3, 2, 1. I'm going to do just one of my palms to switch it up a little bit. Finding that plank. Really just engaging energetically the core here, keeping it from going into the low back. We are almost done, friends. All right, side lunges in 3, 2, 1. Standing up, final round. I'm adding abductor lifts to this one too because I love them and I couldn't figure out a way to really add them in, thankfully. Good, 10 seconds left here. Good, 3, 2, 1, final minute. All right, we are coming to our butterfly glute bridge lift. Finishing strong. We have 20 seconds, really dialing up the glutes here, pressing the feet together. Getting ready for that final earthquake. I'm challenging everyone. We're going to do a minute this time. And 3, 2, 1. So we're doing a minute earthquake for this final one. So find that position. Every 10 seconds, we're going to drop down an inch. So finding that tipping point. Then we are on to our cool down. So final little bit. All right, dropping down an inch here. 1 round, 1 drop done. Good, dropping down an inch. You could also tuck your feet under the couch. Good, dropping down an inch. We're halfway, 30 seconds to go. All right, 20 seconds, dropping a ½ inch down. Ah! All right, final 10 seconds. Core is shaking like an earthquake. 3, 2, 1. Woo! I'm tired. All right, grab some water if you need it. I definitely need it. Ryan's already got the roller out if that's evidence of his tiredness. All right, I'm gonna take some requests today. What kind of cool down stretches are people feeling like they need today? Are there parts of their body in particular that they would like me to get to today? Feelings, thoughts?
My legs.
What part of your leg?
Like my thighs and calves.
Okay, Mom?
I like the what, pigeon? No, not pigeon. Wait, yeah, pigeon.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll do reverse pigeon. Okay, cool. Yeah, that gives me some sense. All right, we're gonna start on our back actually in figure 4. So again, finding that kind of the position we started on and crossing that right leg over your left. You can keep that foot on the ground if you want, or you can try to kind of pull that left knee in. You can bring your hands there if you really need to, but see if you can do it by just controlling the glutes here and getting some opening in that right glute. You can also just like very, very slightly rock the knee back and forth. Good, we're actually gonna go all the way, so you can bring that foot down, and then we're gonna bring that right foot on the ground and come and bring those arms into a goalpost position. So we're getting some opening in that hip, maybe a little bit in that low back. If you can't plant the foot, that's fine too. All right, coming back into the middle, we'll switch to the other leg. So that left leg over the right, you can bring that leg in if that feels good. getting some opening in that left glute. And then we'll tip on over here. So that left foot is on the ground and those arms can come to goalpost. So you have a little bit of a spinal twist here. Your spine is really not supposed to twist that much. So this is a pretty gentle twist for it. All right, coming back into the center, we're gonna flip on over into our quadruped position. So kind of also where we started. And we're gonna extend that left foot out behind us and just come to a little bit of a calf stretch. So we're hinging forward and back, opening up that whole back line. So all the way from your Achilles up into your glute. And then keeping this right foot on the ground, we're gonna open up into a modified side plank. And if this feels fine, you can stay here. If you want to come to a quad stretch, you can grab that left foot with your left hand and really open up that quad. If that doesn't feel good, you can keep that leg on the ground, or you can kind of open up by just pressing that foot behind you and not holding on to anything. If you are grabbed on, try not to arch your back, really tuck the glutes here, and don't bring this into your low back. Good, we'll come back down into our quadruped. We'll extend that right foot back and come to our calf and hamstring opening here. So hinging forward and back on those right toes. All right, this time that left knee, we're coming into our modified side plank. If this feels okay, you can stay here. If you want to grab onto that right foot, again, we're not letting this go into our low back. We're pressing the glutes forward to get that opening in our quad and our hip flexor. You can also let go, and you can just press back instead if that feels like you can't fully grab onto your foot. All right, back into quadruped. We'll do a couple opening and closings of the book. So I'm gonna come to the center so you can see me. So planting that right hand, we're gonna open up our chest and then thread the needle underneath and then open it up. So getting some thoracic mobility here, coming underneath, pressing it and opening up the chest. Again, my pelvis is pretty much staying the same here. We'll do one more and then switch to the other side, planting that left hand, opening that right chest up. We're threading underneath, getting some into the thoracic spine. Last one. Good. And then we'll literally just end how we started with some cat-cow. So really pressing into the hands, dropping the head, and really pressing up into that upper back, releasing that neck tension. And then really starting to pull back with the hands, pulling the chest through, getting some release in that upper back. Good. Pressing into the hands, releasing up. And then pulling the hands back, chest through the armpits. All right. You're welcome to do more of those if that feels really good. Feel free to take as many more stretches as you need. I'm going to stop recording.